Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle KK from CZT Ellen Weinman. All right, this is a neat one and quite versatile. All right, I'm gonna do this up 3 ways, I think. And first, we're going to just take a look at it as a fragment. All right. So there's... Wait. All right. I always think I have things just right. And then I start tangling and I'm like, oh, let's draw into my lap. Those that are on our regular calls, it happens. All right. So first step is 2 parallel lines. So just, pick whichever side you want. And I think my biggest challenge is kind of getting them both like right outside of whatever the middle would be. But, it doesn't matter. All right, then. And I was liking to start this next step from this center line. And so kind of pinpointing, okay, here's where I'm going to think the middle is. And then straight line to either corner. And as you can see, K. Then guess what? Turn your tile and do the same thing. That's how we get the KK. When I was seeing this, and it brought me back to... oh, the old days when the internet was young. And we had, sorry, that made me snort. We had, gosh, what was it? IRL? It, like Instant Messenger was new and fresh and things. And, I don't know, maybe you did this. Maybe if you're old too. And instead of typing OK, I would always just type KK because it was easier. Your finger's already right there. And it just made it easy and quick. And so that's what this made me think of. Good times. Good times. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into at the time, did we? All right. So then we're going to put a couple curve lines. And of course, you decide where it's going to be, but it's in the middle of that K. Yeah, I was thinking this could also be called like, okay. Oh, but maybe I didn't read the full description. So that could be, I like making things up anyway. And so we're going to do that on both sides. And even never mind. So even eyeballing it. So like if you could imagine, get the spacing right, it could look like it's, an orb behind, and it kind of still does. All right, this is it. Okay. And then, it can play, shade, stuff like that. You know what? I'm going to save that for last. So we're going to put that aside. That is the one. I'm also seeing an angry owl. I usually wait and see what people put in the comments, but or something, it's just like, that's just what I see. All right, so a second way this could be done, and if you take a look at the For More Inspiration link, you will see actually just a couple samples. I'm going to peek up and see, what did Linda do? Because it's usually her thing. Oh, it was just in a column. All right. And she didn't do an example of this. So you could have this just be your reticula. It's like a monotangle and reticula at the same time. Well, it wouldn't be a monotangle, I suppose, then. Because then you're just doing the one tangle. But, you have all these great spaces to fill in. And so if you imagine doing it on a bigger scale, that could be kind of neat. But what if you wanted to use it as a fragment? So here's my grid, and I'm gonna say in my version of the step I did it one way. I'm gonna do it different this time. All right, so I'm just gonna go one box at a time. So with the 2 lines, and then eyeballing the center. And starting from the center, well, actually, either way you do it. If you do it this way, but on the second one, if you kind of use that center, because it's somewhat easy to see like that. And actually, let's see, if I come down here, well, that kind of helps. Yeah. All right. Because then what I decided to do is, okay, we're going to do that, and then I'm going to just turn the tile, and that would be counterclockwise, 90 degrees, and then do the same thing. On my version of the step out, I did two one direction and two the other direction. I was thinking to do this, but thought, oh no, I'll just do it that way. And but I did want to see what this turned out like. So, and it's just, it's one of those fun things that we can do with grids, and just take that one box and sorry about that one. Phone was right here by the microphone. All right, just pause so I could mute that. But look at how neat. Okay, and then I forgot what I was saying. So I'm going to turn it another 90 degrees. And see, in this one, because it's it's geometric, there's only two ways to move it, and whereas some other ones you might get starting it in a different corner, you'll get even more interesting meta patterns coming out of it, but this will still be cool. And it's just, like I said, it's just fun to do. And with Zentangle, we're not worrying about anything. We're just worrying about the steps. This is the step at hand. This is what I'm doing. And that's that. All right. Next. And then we get to be surprised by the outcome. You can kind of plan it, or see it somewhat in your head a little bit. But sometimes that's not good, because then when things don't line up with what we think, what we saw in our head, then it's like, oh no, as if that's bad. But it's not bad. Sometimes that is a lot of fun. Because we just might create something extra new and exciting. Like that. That is neat. All right. So then the third way, so in Ellen's step out, as well as Linda's little thumbnail on Tangle Patterns, they show it, in a row. So as I was looking at that, I'm like, well, wait a minute, there's no, cross line. So as I was like, as I was playing, I'm like, well, there's a different way to do this. And I'm thinking, do I dare? Let's just have fun. Let's go rogue. I don't do it that often, but when I have the thought to do so, I should. All right, let's make it curvy and see what happens. Just a little bit. Not too wild. All right, so there's one half. This might turn out to be a disaster. We don't know. We don't care. We're going to play regardless. All right, so what I would do, and if you want to make this, in the straight line, of course, you would make a straight line, and that'd be fun. This is just extra. And then what I would do is put the center lines, and then, decide how far out you want the one side of your border to be, and then the other. Now this would work really great on, like, as a border. So I would just take, it depends on what your work is looking like. So you could take any of your lines. Like, I like to make a squiggly line when I do my outer borders when I'm doing traditional Zentangle. And so you could just follow that along, and then do, the double line that's going to go down the center, and then just so you have, kind of equally spaced, and you're good. Then I'm going to just do a zigzag down one side. So trying to maintain, or let me do it this way. So yeah, so here's our this, and then a continuation of that all the way down. So I'm going to start on this side because it feels more comfortable for whatever reason. Let's see if I can get, and I might not, zigzag doesn't have to be in one stroke unless you want it to. It would just make it wonky. But then I would do this. So I'm going to even this up. And we'll see where it goes. And then, okay, then I'll have that part. And then let's see if I can... Oops, no. This is going to be going up this way. Actually, let me just think. Because I've not tried this curvy yet. I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, let's just do it. And, I like to... Let's experiment, live and fun. No, I'm not. I was thinking maybe to do these other points first, but no, I'm not gonna. Let's just see. And kind of trying to get these straight-ish, but at the same time, it just doesn't matter. Because we're doing this wonky style. There we go. All right, then as I'm looking at it, I'm like going, wait, now where do those circles go? They go right here. Where the point meets that center line. And actually, it really doesn't matter if they meet up or not. I just think that makes it look kind of neat. If I do say so myself, I think it worked out pretty well. All right, so let's do some shading. Well, some shading, and we could do some filling in. One thing I really, really liked. Maybe I'll leave this one blank just for now. I really like in Ellen's sample. And maybe I'll do that on this one, how she shaded it. And it was to do it this way. And that will cover up those little bumps there. Oh, I'll do the same side so that way I'm not moving the tortillon 100 times. Whoa, and I had a new one. Here it is. All right. Well. These ones, I thought I was going to like them, but they seem to be kind of floppy. They're thin. I have to find just a different source for thin ones. And look at that other side. And if... in case this is the first video of mine that you've watched, and you're like, why is she only doing the one side, and why you keep turning it? And with shading, it's just a nice idea to put the tip of the pencil and the tip of the tortillon where you want your shading to be the darkest. Sorry, I'm moving off the camera. Ooh, that kind of looks neat, just half of it, doesn't it? All right, and now we'll do the other. And I have done where, I've like reached over and, to do it on, what I call the wrong side. And sometimes you just do, you just do. And besides that, it does keep it darker in the area, where you have the tip. It also is it's a lot safer. Because if you're reaching over, number one, you can't see. So like if I was doing it on this side of the line, then it's like, it just doesn't work out as well. And two, it depends on the line and all of that. That looks cool. And then they did just on the outside of the last curve line here. I like it. I'm going to have to just snip that little tip off or something. So the reason I got these because they're nice and thin, smaller than the regular ones that I get, but super neat. Okay. Ooh, and then what would we do on this one? So what's fun is, you just get to figure out what part do you want. Like this makes these look puffy the way they are on the inside. And then two, you can always, let me use a different, we can always never find, because I have this ginormous pile of pens on my desk because we've been just having so much fun tangling, and apparently I don't enjoy like putting them back. It's more fun to dig through like a rummage sale. But you can fill in some parts. Oh, maybe I'll do the inside here and then do the rings on another one. Like this. So maybe I'll thinking too hard about it. Sometimes I like to look and see, well, where did things, where's something that I need to fix? Then that helps me decide, but I didn't look at that first. I was thinking, oh, how do I want to alternate this? And I will neaten that up in a minute. And then too, because we're filling in, we can use that as a course correction. If we, you need to make the curve bigger or something, it's up to you. And I find it's, with the grid things, it's sometimes fun to do this where you alternate ideas instead of doing it the same way both times. A lot of me was thinking right along the grid. Let's do that first. And I'm going to do it to both sides. So I'm going to put graphite like right on the line. And then with a circle motion, well, sort of it's getting on both sides, kind of more one than the other. And you don't have to do, you could do like this, because then too, it brings it out on both sides, and then there's not really a darkness on the inside. So then I'll come back with some more graphite. Yes. And then maybe just a back and forth. So that way that graphite stays there, but we create a nice little gradient. What's so funny, and maybe this is just me, probably is, sometimes when I'm doing something like this, then I have a different thought. But, it's okay. You can do it on the next one. Yeah, that one looks better. Well, sort of. Not so much out here. All right. And if I'm doing that, I really need to go on the outside. Also, we can go to the outside of the outside. That works too. And sometimes if you can't decide what to do, grid lines is usually safe. And like I said, it might give you other ideas as you do things. It's like, okay, next time I do this, I'm going to do it X way. And then the trick is to remember. What's neat about this is that you can add because it's so open, and you can add just as much contrast as you need to have for whatever it is that you're doing. I like to have a nice mix of high contrast and I guess, this would be, not so high contrast, or very low contrast when there's nothing filled in. I was very tempted to do this similar thing on that one, but I might put some graphite right down that middle of that curvy one, just for fun. Neat. All right. What was I thinking for this one? I don't know. Oh, I know. I think I'm gonna. No, you know what? I'm gonna just do this part, and you could put patterns. I'm just filling them in, but you could put patterns in these. So well, it's too late now. Oh no, I could do it in the center. You could put orbs in. You could put, depending on how big it is, print humps or doodah. Ooh, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Okay. I haven't done that one in a while. Let's see. Doodah is another pattern. If you're new to Zentangle, you'll get the. It's not only the lingo, it's the. You get to know the pattern names. This way would be a little more comfortable. This one is so easy. As you can see, I'm just doing alternating lines coming from each side and stopping, just like kind of going 2/3 of the way ish, and you kind of get in a rhythm. It does take a little bit of focus because maybe at first, and then you kind of get in the groove of it, but then you have to, this is just me, I have to be careful not to lose. All right, you've got it, just keep it. Okay, good, all right. I was thinking this kind of looks like an envelope, but because this is, I'm seeing this as being tucked in to the other, I guess just because it has that, it has the little C-shaped curve line in there. That's what I was seeing. Okay. And it's just so fun because we can just play. You see something, try it. If you don't like it, there's usually something that you can do. And while I'm at it, let's do on the outsides of this doodah, because it's like a band holding it together. And I think it's fun to just make up stories as I go. Yeah, that's what this is. Yeah, that's what that is. It's non-representational. You can't be wrong. It's all good. All right. I'm not being happy with that. Boy, you have to be careful when you're going over the, something you've inked in heavily, because I can just feel, it just feels like a bump almost, but that's just the way it is. So there we are. Isn't that neat? Oh my goodness. I might add some kind of a dimension to this one. I just don't know yet. Oh, no, I do know. Let's do this. Because it's neat to do. I'm going to get a little bit thicker pen. And I'm going to go over, at least I'm going to start with the outside. Because that's one of the things that that my mom brings up a lot, because she'll do it a lot, is if she's not happy with something, it's like, okay, let's just, she'll usually start off with a thicker pen anyway, but she'll redefine lines. Look at what that did. Now I was thinking about doing the middle. but I don't know now. I think I kind of like it. Or fill it in. All right, well, let me first say, while I'm thinking about it, if you have enjoyed this, and I hope you have, please click on the like button. It feels like it needs it, doesn't it? Please click on the like button. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the site. I mentioned the description section. I'm just going to do it. I mentioned the description section where you will find links to the step outs. I always do my own version and then link to the creator of the Tangle. And then below that, you'll find my Linktree link. And there you can find ways to connect with me if you wish. Oh, yes. Yes. Like it. That's just neat. You know, and you could add, you know, contrast or other things with that, but I kind of like that just the way it is. Oh, so cool. I don't know what direction I want these in. Yeah, so check out the Linktree, and you can follow my website blog, and also on the website you'll see the classes that I do. I do teach a lot of free, we'll call them sessions. We could take something like this, and present the Tangle. And then it's just, all right, go. We just have fun. And, it's one of those where I always, when I remember to say, it's like, you can follow me, you can follow my mom, on what we're doing. If, because I usually I like to have an example and then try to replicate it or let it, feed ideas. I don't necessarily have great ideas on my own. It just depends on the day. But it's just a lot of fun, and the results are absolutely amazing. So come and join us. Price is right, free is good. So that's every Thursday, 11 a.m. or 7 p.m. You can come to both, because we have a lot that do. And that's Eastern time. I'm here in Michigan. So, and then also on the third Tuesday, I also have another free session on the third Tuesday of every month. Same starting times. And then the other ones are have a fee, because they're usually, more in depth or some kind of a project or something more involved in a little bit longer time period and stuff like that. And it just helps me to keep the lights on and whatnot. Let's see. You can also follow me on Facebook. I have a couple other links there for following me for classes. So that way, if you're not on Facebook, what else is there? Our fabulous Tangle Addicts community group. So if you are on Facebook and want to join us there, click that link. In order to join, you have to answer 4 questions. There's 4 questions. None of them are tricky. Really, kind of the last one is a little bit, because I kind of am explaining and setting the tone a little bit, just, and then I just want to, if there's agreement, great. And it's really interesting, the stuff I get back. And I think it does, so far, it's helped to avert, just some of the, people that either they just want to cause trouble type of people. So I think we've averted some, because I'd accidentally hit one, and I was like, and it was like immediately there was some kind of like spammy something. I was like, oh, okay, bye-bye. So anyway, it just is, it's just nice, because it just helps to protect the group. So, and there's just other things to check out on that Linktree. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.